Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sampurita pamita paramita balena vidvansiyo kila kilesa samoha jalam teneva landa araham arahoti namam vandami buddha mamalang hadaye tapetva namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the supremely enlightened one. Arogya paramalabha santutti paramandanam vissasa paramanyati nibbana paramang sukham. Health is the greatest gaining. Happiness or contentment is the highest treasure. Trustworthiness is the best kinship. Enlightenment is the highest bliss. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Venerable sirs, friends in the Dhamma, here we are listening to Buddha's message. In this world, having a blissful life, especially in the human realm, receiving a life as a human being is very rare. You know, in the world you can see a lot of ants, animals, birds, fish. Among them, human beings are very rare, a few. Not only having a human life, but especially listening to Dhamma, receiving this sublime message is so rare. We all have received these both things, the human life and the Dhamma. When we meet these both things, we should dedicate our entire life for our spiritual life, our happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. Happiness depends on how much we are satisfied at this present moment. If we think happiness is in the future, we always seek happiness, not we enjoy happiness. When I take a picture here, and also one day I will give you that picture. After 30 years, 40 years, if I give that picture, then I ask, what do you think about this picture? Now you may think that when I go to school, high school, university, when I receive my degree, bachelor degree, master degree, doctorate, I will be happy. Now you think my happiness will be in the future after I reach in my goals. But when I give that photo one day, when you have completed your all dreams, when I show that picture, if I ask you that, do you like just moment having all the qualifications, so whether you like in that picture when you were in very young age. You may think that one day I give all my money, my degrees, my facilities. Could you please give me the chance to come to my young age? One day you will ask. In that situation, we should understand just a moment is the most valuable thing in our life. If we can succeed this present moment, our entire life is successful. Buddhism never says us to come back to our past. Buddhism always encourages us to live in the present moment. This present moment is the most valuable moment. Therefore, it says, Santutti Paramandanam. Happiness or contentment is the greatest treasure. That happiness is in the present moment. If we think my happiness will be in the future after I will have my all dreams come true, actually that future never comes. That is why always we wish a better tomorrow. That tomorrow never comes until we die. Here we should understand the way how we receive the real happiness. Buddhism explains the path of happiness. Happiness completely depends on purification of our mind. That is why Buddhism says, 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝓶, purifying one's mind. Purifying one's mind, there Buddha explains the direct path for our spiritual purification. What is that? Mindfulness. 𝐂𝐻𝐢𝐻𝐢𝐻𝐸 ℒ𝒶𝓃 ℒ𝒂. The only path for the purification of beings is that practicing mindfulness, or being aware of our body and mind at the present moment. If you want to see the beauty of your life, you have to be in the present moment. In the present moment, we have no problems. Problems are in the past or in the future. Present moment is very peaceful and calm. In this situation, Buddhism explains the qualities that we have to cultivate from beginning to end on the path of happiness. The very first quality is that gratitude. We should be grateful. When we are grateful, we are generous. When we are grateful and generous, we receive a very special benefit in our spiritual path. What is that? That is good association. We meet the very virtuous persons in this world whenever we have these qualities, gratitude and generosity. It doesn't mean that we face good friends face to face. Actually, in the current society, we are so lucky. We can reach any friend, no matter whether they are near or far. Because of new technology and devices, we can reach anyone who is anywhere. No matter they are in West Virginia or New York or Los Angeles or even Siripada, even Singharaja, even Hollywood, no matter wherever they are in, you can reach them. You have these qualities. What are the qualities? Gratitude and generosity. We should make a generous heart. That generosity should be honest, righteous, and correct, no matter whether we offer a little or not. Even though we offer a very small thing for someone, we should do it very honestly, righteously, and correctly with a pure heart. Then we can meet good association. Not only we should have good association, Buddhism has explained 3 levels of good association. Buddhism explains 𝒃 ℒ𝒾 ℒ𝒃 ℒ𝒃. The very first one is having good association. Actually, already we have received it. Not only that, 𝒃, we should make them friendly. That is very important. Some people have already received good association because of their weak skills. They are unable to make good friends friendly. That is a big disadvantage in our life. We should recognize them, whether they are good friends. That is 𝒃. We should make them friendly. If we are not friendly with them, even though they know the Dhamma, they don't explain Dhamma for us. They associate with us like usually they share food or other things, but they don't talk about the Dhamma. Until they see your qualities, they don't explain Dhamma for you. That's a very special thing. We should understand it. Not only that, the third one of our good association is that 𝒃 we should pay attention for them. We should be gently spoken what they say. Those 3 things are very important. Good association, make them friendly, and listening to Dhamma what they explain. These 3 things are very important. Buddha says, in the mundane level and the supra-mundane level, the highest benefit or advantage that we receive is that good association. If you want to succeed your educational and your career goals, you should meet good friends. Not only that, if you go to the spiritual level, you should have very good friends who know the Dhamma, who practice the Dhamma. Then we find the path from the beginning to end. Firstly, we practice gratitude, then we practice generosity. Immediately we find the path. What is the path? Sila, Samadhi, and Panna. Virtue or moral conduct, discipline in our speech and behavior, and Samadhi, concentration, keeping our attention in the present moment. We concentrate our mind using some meditation technique. And finally, wisdom. In the current society, educators, and psychologists, and counselors, psychiatrists, they have discovered the highest skills that we should cultivate in our life. The very first one is good association. That is said in Buddhism as 𝒮𝓶. When someone says something, we should have good attention about what they say. The next one, being in a particular posture for a long time without moving our body. You know, we can dance for one day continuously. We can sing songs for a day continuously without stopping. But you know, it is difficult to stay in a particular posture for 5 minutes. That is more difficult. Please try to do it. How long you can stay in a particular posture without moving it? This is a very special skill that we should develop, especially in the current society, because children have a lot of devices and things. They are unable to stay in a particular posture for a long time, even though their GPA, grade point average, is very high. You know, when someone cultivates their mind to the maximum level, Anagami persons, Arhantas and Buddhas, they can stay in a particular posture how many days? For 7 days. Nirodha Samapatti. They don't even breathe for 7 days without taking food and air or breath. They can stay in a particular posture for 7 days. That is the highest skill that a person can cultivate when they develop their mind, purifying their minds. Not only we should cultivate our skills living in a particular posture, but we should have an ability to keep our mind in a particular object for a long time. That is samadhi. Practicing some samatha concentration meditations again and again, such as may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. 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 So on, again and again, contemplating on a particular or some object again and again, we keep our mind in the particular object for a long time. Please try to train your mind from 1 minute to many minutes and finally 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours on. You can start it with 1 minute. Okay? Firstly, you can sit in a particular posture only 1 minute. That is enough. Then 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, so on. Little by little, you can develop it. That is the real skillfulness that we develop in our life. That directly helps you to go forward in your educational goals. That is very important. Not only you go forward in your education and career, but you gradually go on the path of happiness. Other people, they always need to talk to other people. They need to use some devices. They need to play some games and other things. But without using any devices, without using Wi-Fi or internet, you make your happiness within you. That is the highest skill that we can develop. This happiness doesn't depend on the outside persons or things. This happiness that you created depends on your hand. No one can disturb this success, this happiness. If you depend on outside persons or things, even your devices, if you depend on Wi-Fi or internet, actually you are not successful. Your success depends on that, how far you don't depend on the outside world and persons. Buddhism explains the path, how we cultivate these skills in our lives. In the current society, there is a very special educator named Professor Abraham Maslow. He has introduced the hierarchy of needs. He explains the people who are in the world, they have some needs. From the lower levels to the higher level, he has explained the needs of people who are in this world. The primary needs are air, food, water, clothes, shelter. These are the primary needs we should have. When we fulfill these needs, we gradually go to the upper level. Then we find our education, our jobs, earning money, so on. Then we go to the upper level. We need the social benefits. We need to live in this society with glory. That is also very important. Then we need to overcome fear and doubt. Finally, the highest goal of a person is that self-actualization, Atma Sakshatkarana. What is the self-actualization? After we fulfill our educational and financial goals, still we are not satisfied. Then we come to the virtuous persons seeking our spiritual happiness. In the current society, especially in the Western society, there are a lot of people, after they fulfill their educational and financial goals, they come to the religious places finding their spiritual happiness. They come to the Dhamma, then they practice meditation. They understand that their happiness completely depends on their meditation. We usually take medication for our physical body, but what is meditation? Meditation is the medication for our mind. That is more important than the material foods. Finally we practice There are some special meditation techniques in Buddhism, Metta Bhavana and Satipatthana. Loving kindness meditation and mindfulness. Reflecting on that, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful again and again. We spread metta thoughts to everyone, those who are in this universe. May all beings at this monastery be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings in this city, may all beings in this state, may all beings in this country, in this continent, in this planet, in this solar system, in this galaxy, the Milky Way, may all beings in this universe, may all beings in this entire world be well, happy and peaceful. We think it again and again. Then our mind is so peaceful and calm. The more we practice Metta Bhavana, the more we can see the beauty of our mind, since no one can disturb our peace of minds. Mind is the main cause that disturbs our peace of mind. There are a lot of people who are in this current society are stressed. Some counselors and psychiatrists, they recommend Metta Bhavana for their clients in order to reduce stress. We mostly suffer because of anger. If we can overcome anger, we can overcome more than 60% stress from our mind. As the result of practicing Metta Bhavana to the maximum level, as soon as we meet a person, we concern that person like my brother or sister, like my only son or daughter. As soon as we see a person, as soon as we meet a person, as soon as we remember a person, when we listen to a sound of a person, we immediately think that that person is like my only son or daughter. This is the way that how much we are healthier mentally. It means no one can make us angry. If someone can make you angry, will become your master. You are controlled by that person. The one who can make you angry will become your master. Since you are controlled by that person, you are like a servant of him. Do you like it? Oh, no one likes it. You don't like, no one control you. If you want to not to be controlled by someone, you have to cultivate your metta in your minds. As a result of practicing Metta Bhavana, no one can make you angry. Even though your GPA, grade point average, is very high, if a person can make you angry very easily, are you successful? No, you are not successful. What is your skill? What is your success? If no one can make you angry, that is your success. That is more important than your grade point average. Be sure it. Buddhism always advises us to practice metta bhavana in order to reduce anger. That is why the Supreme Buddha says, Yantan santam padang abhisamecha sabbe sattha bhavantu sukhitatha. He who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice metta bhavana, contemplating on thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Again and again we practice it. This is one of the highest skills that we can cultivate in our lives. Now we have been discussing several qualities that we can create in our character. What is the first one? What is the first quality that we develop in our life? Gratitude. The second one? Generosity. The third one? Sila or virtue. Especially Buddhism explains the benefits of 5 precepts, Panchasila. Abstaining from killing beings, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from false speech, and abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs that causes heedlessness. These are the moral qualities. This is the human qualities that we cultivate in our lives. Buddha says, he who practices these 5 qualities gives the fearlessness to the world. Abhyandeti, averandeti, abhyapanyandeti. He who practices these 5 qualities in their lives, they give fearlessness and metta to the world. If your friends practice these 5 qualities, if your neighbors practice these 5 human values, what is your attitude about them? You have no fear, no doubt. You are so friendly with them. Anytime you can give your house, you can give your dog, pets to them. Anytime you can invite them to come to your home and stay. You have no any problem. You are confident in them. You respect them. If your parents practice these 5 qualities, you are so happy about your parents. As children, when you practice these qualities, your parents are confident in you. They never question you whenever you go to a place, whenever you come back to home. They never question you. They don't need to advise you. Since they are confident in you, you never do a bad thing in your life. Not only that, even though you are in your young age, your parents, your elders respect you because you are a virtuous person. Practicing Dhamma is the easiest way living in this world. When we practice Dhamma, we have no problems, no difficulties. Whenever we go away from the Dhamma, we have to face a lot of problems and difficulties. Therefore, Buddhism says, Dhammo 𝐓𝐢𝐻𝐢𝐻𝑒 Dhammacharīn. He who practices Dhamma is protected by the Dhamma. Dhammo 𝐓𝐢𝐻𝐢𝐻𝑒 Dhammacharīn. He who follows the Dhamma is protected by the Dhamma. That is the real protection that we can create in our life. And finally, we come to the highest quality, which is mindfulness. Being aware of our body and mind. Keeping our attention in the present moment. We are aware of your body posture. We perform 4 postures in our lives: sitting, standing, walking, lying down. When we are sitting, we are aware of that. Now I am sitting. When we are standing, we know that now I am standing. When we walk, we know that now I am walking. When we lie down, we know that now I am lying down. We are aware of the present moment based on mindfulness. Not only that, we understand this physical body consists with 4 fundamental elements: earth element, water element, fire element, air element. This body is made with these 4 fundamental elements: solidity, fluidity, heat and motion. Those things every moment change. Not only that, our physical body gradually going to old age, sicknesses, and finally this body is subject to die, and one day it will be kept in a cemetery. Finally it becomes death on the earth. In this situation, we give the priority for our spiritual development. Even though we like or not, for sometimes this body is going to beauty and gradually it goes to old age, decay, sickness and finally death. We should understand it. It doesn't mean that we should be afraid of our life, but we have to face the reality. Here we understand my life is the most valuable moment. My life is that this present moment. Keeping my attention in the present moment. Not only that, by practicing mindfulness, we see our life wisely and mindfully. What happens to our life at this moment? Our entire life is that 5 internal senses and 5 external objects. Every moment we experience the world through our senses. When we see something, when we hear something, when we smell something, when we taste something, when we feel something through our body, we experience the world. The nature of the world is that we experience the external world according to our senses. These senses depend on our present mental situation. According to our present mental situation, our senses, eye, ear, nose, these senses arise at the moment. And also they immediately change at the moment. They cease at the moment. Every moment we create new experiences. Not only that, we can contact something at the present moment, but when we understand the material world of persons, the first experience consists with the 4 fundamental elements have already ceased. We recognize everything through our mind consciousness. I form, I consciousness, I contact, I feeling, We pass these several stages in our life. When we understand it, all the primary steps have ceased. We recognize everything through our mind consciousness. Our entire life is like food that we take in our day-to-day life. I have given this example earlier. I think you remember it. When we eat something, having some food in a plate, when we enjoy food, when we taste some food, immediately we look at the food which is in the plate. Isn't it? When we enjoy some delicious food which are in our mouth, we immediately look at the food which is in the plate. We think that the taste comes from the food which is in the plate. Is it true? No. If at this moment, if you enjoy some food, where is that food? That food is in your mouth. That food is not in your plate. That food was in the plate. Not that food. That food was in the plate. But now that food is in your mouth. This is the reality. But we never know it. As soon as you taste some food, you look at the food which is in the plate and you show, my Nangi, my Akka, look at this food, very delicious. But you know, food which is in the plate is not delicious. The taste arises at the moment when food comes to your mouth. You know, if you think that the food which is in the plate is delicious, please blend it and put it in your stomach. Is it tasty? No, taste is in your mouth. Our entire life is like that. These things which is in the external world is like the food which is in the plate. What we understand, what we think is like the food which is in our mouth. We see that beauty is in the outside world. Actually, there is no beauty in the outside world. Beauty depends on your perception. Beauty depends on our perception. If we can change our perception, the entire world that we experience is beautiful. Buddhism never goes to change the external world. Buddhism always advises us to change our perception. As soon as we see something, we hear something, we smell something, we taste something, if we can understand, now I experience the world through my mind consciousness. The world, the external world has already ceased. Then no one can control you since you don't depend on the outside world or persons. This is the path of liberation or emancipation, what the Dhamma explained. Okay, please remember this reality. One day after you finish your education and everything, You have to come to this message in order to achieve the real happiness. But you are so fortunate. While you are going forward on your education and career life, if you practice Dhamma, while you are going forward on your educational goals, you can practice Dhamma, you can receive the results of the Dhamma. You are so fortunate. In Buddha's time, there were some children who at the age of 7, they could realize this Dhamma. They could attain some spiritual steps in their lives. Therefore, you are also so lucky to have this message in your very young age. If you want to become the real happiness, you have to come to the Dhamma. Okay, for that I wish you all the best. By the power of practicing this Dhamma, we accrue a lot of meritorious deeds and spiritual faculties. By the power of the spirituality, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May all your spiritual and educational goals meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the supreme bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkhaṃ paṇṭāṃ ca niddukkhaṃ, bhayaṃ paṇṭāṃ ca nibbhayaṃ, sokaṃ paṇṭāṃ ca nissokaṃ, hontu sabbe pipānino. May all beings be free from suffering and fear. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.